Hello, I hope everyone is doing great. Yeah. Yes. People, come up before I start this conversation today. You better come up. I don't want to leave anyone behind today. You better come up. You better come up before I start. I don't want to leave anyone behind. Good morning and good evening for those who have just woken up. Good morning. And for us who are already in the evening hour, good evening to all of us. Yes, to my Ugandan people, Tanzania, Kenya, where, the ones that we share the same time with. Good evening. I hope everyone is doing well. Same as here, I'm also alright. Yes. But I've been on and off but don't worry about that. You're most welcome to Norah's live. So in this live today, we want to talk about our childhood. Yes, come, tell your friend, your sister, and everyone that Norah is live. Guys, let's talk about this childhood life. You come, I want to share something with you. I don't know about you, but me, mine. Wow. My childhood, actually, it was a life that now when you grow up, it was about learning, experiencing, and yeah, to take or leave it. That was me. That was the life that I grew up in. So come up, let's start the journey. So guys, as I was telling you about childhood, what was that your parents told you that you could never forget? That was that your parents told you that when you grew up, that's when you realize you were like, you guys, you lied to us, you lied. You lied to us, eh? You wish that, but it was the only way for our parents to make sure that we grow up safely. It's not like nowadays, everything we know it. Everything you can go and Google and search about it. Everything is just open. There's nothing that people have to hide nowadays. But back then, but me really thank God that we were being told those things, because they say curiosity kills the cat. As they say, karma is a bitch. It's real. So, me growing up, my parents, they used to tell us not to eat at neighbor's house. You shouldn't talk to strangers. You shouldn't receive anything from a stranger. Make sure that you don't go and play far from home. You have to play somewhere near home where you can always be safe. When a man sends you to shop and tells you to enter their house, do not enter. That's what our parents used to tell us. Don't enter a man's house. That's a trap. So if a man could send us, if we had a neighbor who is single and tells us, go and buy for me this and then the balance is yours, say no. Say no. Don't go to shop to buy for him whatever he wants. Let him go and buy whatever he wants. That's how we grew up in the neighborhood, where we don't have TV, you play. But we used to sleep, so you go to bed at around 1 and then wake up at around like 3 to 4 there. It depends on how sleepy you are. You wake up and then you play up to 5. By 6, you have to be ready in the bathroom showering. After that, wait for your meal. At 7, at around 8, you're ready in bed. There is no commenting. There is no saying, Mama, this. You're already feeling sleepy. But nowadays, children of nowadays, they want to stay on their phone. They watch nonsense. They watch all kind of crazy things. Kids know everything. Kids know bedroom stuff. And you like, you kids. Huh? I'm telling you, kids of nowadays, you can even be embarrassed. Back then, there's something that recently I just noticed, and we were actually having a conversation with my friend. And my friend is the one actually who brought it up. She was like, Nora, have you ever noticed that our parents, they used to tell us to go and play with our neighbors' kids, whom they never liked us to play with, that we can play as long as we want, as long as we don't make noise for them. And then another thing, our parents, they used to send us in the village to stay there for holiday so that they can remain two people at home. What do you think that was? And then you come back after like some month, you see your mom's belly is too big, and then you wonder what really. Guys, to be honest, yes, they send you to the village after like 5 to 6 months, 7 months, you see your mom's belly is big. But nowadays, kids of nowadays, they tell their parents, Mom, I want to sleep in your bedroom. They want to know what you're going to do. Hello, how are you, my dear? You're most welcome. They want to see what you're doing at night. And the worst thing that they will tell the neighbors, that, you know what? I saw so-and-so's mom and dad, they were doing this, and mom was crying, doing this kind of voice. And the worst thing about the kids, they'll ask their fellow kids, what was that sound? And then this one will start narrating of how that sound was. The worst thing. Let me tell you, kids are nowadays. That's why work hard and make sure that your kids have their own bedrooms. They sleep there. Hey, how are you? I hope you're doing great. Nice to meet you. My name is Nora, and you? Hey, okay, bye. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Kids of nowadays, they are something else. Your parent to come out with an excuse. My head is hard. I have a headache, guys. Remember, your dad is home. And then she'll come up. She has a headache. If not a headache, your dad does not want noise at home. So you guys go play. I'll let you know. I'll come and call you. If you see me, then you come with me, okay? And with your stupidity, because you want to play. Yay! Bye. You speak Arab? No, dear. No, darling. I don't speak Arab. I only speak English. Thank you. And with your stupidity, because you want to play, your brain is not even going to start telling you that you shouldn't go and play. No, it's a permission. And you know, back then when your parents have given you that permission of go and play with your friends, with your other neighbors, and you've always wanted to play with them, oh my God, you'll be like, yay, let me go. You just go and play. You won't even imagine. But nowadays, kids know that when their parents, when dad and mom open milk. What do you mean by open milk? Let me know what you're trying to say, my darling. So back then, when your parents, like nowadays, a kid will ask their parents, why should we go and play? Or maybe nowadays, when a kid sees their parents, mom and dad, they have entered the room, the two of them, they just know that now it's time. And then but back then you wouldn't even know anything. We were in a white lie where you don't know what your parents are going to do. You don't know anything. Please guys, kindly give me a like and let me know in the comment section what was that white lie that your parents told you that helped you and shaped you to grow up into a better person. Tell me. And the children of back in the days and children of nowadays, what do you think? Tell me the difference between the kids of the 90s and the kids of the 2014, 15. Let's start from the 14, because those 2014, 15, those are the kids that you can't keep a secret from them. You can't keep a secret from them. You can't do something of your own. Those kids of nowadays, Even if you do a sound like, oh, the kid will be like, Mom, what was that sound? What were you and Dad doing in the room? Like, nowadays the kids, they know where the child comes from. Oh my God. It's so embarrassing. Me, I grew up, to be honest, I grew up thinking that babies, like, you go to the hospital, they give you the baby to the hospital. Like, you just go, your parents will tell you, my stomach is hurting, we are going to bring the baby home. And you wait for that baby to come from the hospital to home. But nowadays, kids, they know where the children comes from. Nowadays, the kids, they know how those babies were made. You like IA? I'm trying to understand this person, but it's really hard to understand you, my dear darling friend. So you grew up in that place where there is something that I remember there is this place, because I grew up like this kid. I was too sharp because I grew up in the city, so I know most of the roads in the city, and so my mom could always give a border guy, let me say a Uber guy that he knows, and tell that person, take this key to this place, because she knows the person she's going to meet. And then I could not talk to those guys because they have already been paid money, and whenever they take me where I'm supposed to be, and I'll tell them, wait for me here. That's the only word I'll tell them. Wait for me here. At the young age of 5, I could direct someone and tell them, wait for me here, I'm coming. And then I go where my mom told me to go, and then I come back, and then they put me again on the Uber, again take me back home. That was a young age. Because I grew up in the city, and I studied also in the city, so it was so easier for me to cooperate with people, but not to follow everyone. When my mom says, go to a certain place, that's where I have to go. So I wouldn't have to go anywhere. Like, nowadays, they have told you to go to a certain place, and again, your karma tells you, no, you see the other place, and then you go. Back then, you have to be very, very careful, because the world was just still growing. However much other places was already being developed by, but in Africa we were still a little bit behind, and not everyone had cell phone back then. And there, a few people had a motorcycle, a lot of people had bicycles, yeah. Back then there was a lot of people were riding bicycles. There was no motorcycles. Like, if someone can afford a motorcycle back then, you're the rich one. Back then, if you could afford TV, you're the rich one. Affording those kind of things, you were the one with money. And you know how people will look at you in the neighborhood, they'll be like, yo. But we used to play entirely without even thinking of phone. Okay, bye, ciao, ciao, ciao. Nowadays, it's when we're like, even you as a person, do you fit black? Do your feet black? What are you trying to say, my dear? Look, if you have these nasty comments, please, okay? Yes, I'm a black person. What? Do you want me to hate myself because I'm a black person? Look, I love myself. So no matter what you say, it won't take my joy away. Yeah, I love myself. And you see, it's natural beauty. There is no any filter. There is no any injections. I'm natural. Okay? I love myself so much that even you can't change anything. If in case some of you have forgotten about the topic, let's talk about the comment. Look at the headline, look at the script. That's what we are talking about today. What was the lie that your parents would do? It's not like lie. I want to ask you your contact for your feet and beautiful shoes. Let me even see this person. Let me even see this person. I want to ask you contact for your feet and beautiful shoes. let me go down like this and then come back. And stretch again and again, come back. So, and wear socks and shoes. So, okay, what you're trying to say, and you are sitting, put a foot over there, and you play with shoes. I love it. And you wear socks and shoes. Please, por favor, mi amor, por favor. What kind of... Imagine. I'm wearing slippers. Can't you see? Let me put my foot up. I'm wearing slippers, you see? That's what I'm wearing. This way. That's what I'm wearing. I'm wearing slippers. It's not winter. We're already in summer. So it's not good to wear socks in this summer. You need to be cool. I wish you were a servant under your bananga ono omuyambe mumutwaleko ku ssomero kubanga it is white. Yes, it is. How are you? Anyway, guys, someone is making me here laugh, but don't forget to like. Click on the 3 dots on your left, and then you see the 3 dots. Click on it. It will send you where you give me a like. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel for more videos. I have more beautiful videos there. You can check them out, and you can love them. Does he need cleaning? My shoes are white. I always clean them. My shoes are all clean. So this is the inside sandals. I have the sandals that I wear while cleaning the house. White shoes are dirty quick. Yes, but if you're a clean person, it can't be dirty. Yes, white shoes, they quite really get stained so fast, but you have always to keep them clean. That every time that you go maybe to take a bath, you make sure that you clean your shoes with the brush. Put some liquid on the brush and then clean them to keep them clean. If you're always clean, your shoes will always be clean. Oh, if you allow me to clean your shoes. To clean my shoes as who? As my servant, as my husband, as who? Why brush is my mouth? Mache wetyo konga. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What was that thing that your parents told you that now you grow up, you're like, Mom, thank you. I thank my mom for a lot of things, because her words shaped me to make me a better person, to know when to say no and to know when to say yes. Hello, my dear Bashira. How are you? If it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be a hardworking person, and I wouldn't be a person who I am today. I don't look down on jobs as long as I'm earning money out of this. The only job that I cannot do has me as a person. Where do you live? I live in Saudi Arabia. The only kind of job that I know I cannot do in my life is to work as a stripper. I cannot sell my body for money, but other jobs I can do. I can do it as long as it pays me, let me tell you guys. You know, our parents, they used to tell us that where I'm going, it's where you'll also come. And another one they used to say, when you grow up, you will understand. And to be honest, yes, me, when I reached in my 20s, let me say 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, I started to understand my mother's words, to be honest. And by those words, I started by living in them and making myself a better person. And knowing to let go. I'm that person, I don't like forcing myself into people's life. Someone might say that you don't know how to love, but sometimes when I ask people, what is really love? If you think you know how to love, what is really love to you as a person who is telling me that? So, some words when your parents tell you, take them seriously. There are some words that you shouldn't take them seriously, but some, they say, listen and understand and pick out what can help you. Those are the words of our parents. Growing up, I'll say that I'm glad that I was born in the 90s because, yes, kids of nowadays, there's a lot of things that people do that you'll even be embarrassed as a person. You'll be like, kids of nowadays, they are too much. At least we who grew up back in the days, our parents used to hide some things from us, but nowadays kids know everything. There's a day I was home and this kid came to me. You know what this kid told me? I want to do you. And I was like, what? I was like, are you nuts? And then this kid was like, yeah. I told him, are you out of your mind? I'm older than you. And then this kid was like, and who cares if you're older than me? As long as you're beautiful. I don't care. I was like, you know what? Immediately I went to his parents' home and I reported him. The next day when I found him on the road, I had to teach him a lesson because I was so embarrassed by what the kid told me. I had to teach him a lesson. Next time when he sees me, he will respect me. You know, kids of nowadays, they learn a lot on their phones. And let me tell you guys, not every cartoon that you see, it was made for kids. I'm telling you guys. Some cartoons are for grown-ups. They have adult words. Me, I've watched a lot of cartoons that I've even forgotten about the titles, but I remember all the stupid jokes they said in those cartoons that made me laugh, made me understand that not every cartoon is for the kid. And back then, in the 2000s, we could only listen to the radio. Other people had TV, but if your parents could not afford TV, you could only listen to a radio. And not every song. I grew up in that community where you were not allowed to listen to any kind of music. We grew up listening to Lingala. Lingala They used to speak also they would play their song in French. So if you wouldn't understand French, you wouldn't understand the words they were saying in those songs. So they'll make us dance, and there is this lady called the Saida Kalori. For her, she's from Tanzania, from the border near Uganda in Tanzania. I remember growing up listening to her songs. We loved her songs, and we could just sing because we knew Swahili. We could just sing, but we didn't know the meaning of the songs. Now, when I grew up, that's when I started noticing the songs, the words in those songs. But back then, whenever we hear the song, we start dancing, and our grandmother would spread money on us. Yeah, we grew up like our grandmother used to tell us to dance, so they would play those songs. That's why I'm an old person. I like the music from the 90s and the 80s because we used to dance through those music, and my grandmother would splash money on us. We grew up when you dance and they splash money on you. To entertain our grandmother, so we grew up entertaining her in that life. And whenever we hear grandma, remember we sleep early, and then she comes back at around 9 p.m. Whenever we hear her, she's back, they wake up us all and wash our faces and make sure that we are not sleepy. When kids, you've woken them up, they cry. So they have to make sure we don't cry. And after that, grandma will play music, and then we all start dancing around and dancing around. Those 80s songs, you dance around, and then they splash money on you, They take photos. They took photos of us when we were young. When you're eating, you've gone to the toilet. Let me tell you guys, growing up in a life where there is no technology, it was much, much fun because they took a lot of our photos. And one of the things that in our family, most of my siblings, they're embarrassed of, it's our old photos when we were young. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who still has that interest of knowing how I grew up, because I will always go back and watch and watch and watch and watch. And then I'll ask my mom, what was I doing here? Exactly, I'm seeing what I was doing. But then I have to know the reason why my photo was taken. And then my mom will explain, here you were doing this, here you were doing that. I love to hear the childhood memories. However much, I reached at a certain stage where I started doing things and then doing things and then doing things, and you're like, you guys, if you don't have childhood memories of the 90s, I don't know which world you're living in. Mine, my life is a life that, if I tell my kids will be like, Mom, you don't even look like someone who used to do all those things. I remember there's a time, there's a certain time that one of our friends was sent to shop. We were neighbors. And then one of our friends said that, hey Nora, we saw someone taking a bath. Do you guys want to go and see? We were so curious. We wanted to know. So we asked this person who came with the information, Angela. Her name was Angela. Angela used to be one of the stubbornest kids around us, and they never wanted us to be around her because she was quite really jumpy. So they would be like, we asked Angela, really? She was like, yes, there's a hole in the bathroom. If you guys go and see, you see everything. So we will rush. And then we go one by one, one by one. You know those holes in the bathroom, those outside bathrooms. And then you go, you put your eyes there like this, and then you see, and another will be like, you don't even want to say a word so that the person in the bathroom could hear. So one day, one of the neighbor caught us. The good thing we were still standing. We were all like this. We were all bending like this. And we were telling the other one, you also hurry up so that I can also see. Hurry, hurry, hurry. A neighbor went and told our parents. That day we were flogged. Let me tell you, we were flogged. We were flogged and asked us where did we get the idea. We gave them the person who told us to go and pimp. Angela was flogged. Childhood life was something else. And another thing that we did when we were young as stupid, that we wanted to know. One day there was someone, thank you so much for the thumbs up. Someday we were actually playing, just minding our own business. And you know these grown-ups who don't respect themselves. Playing, and then we had people in the bush. So we're like, let's go and see. We used to be so stubborn. We ran and then we went. So when we saw them, we were like, what are you guys doing? We went home. We were all narrating on what we saw. So, you know, being stupid. So we went home and then we asked, by then I was living with my aunt, and then I asked my aunt, do you know that today we saw so and so? They were like, and then my aunt was like, where did you see that? We're like, we were playing the other place. Do you know where the other place? And she was like, yes, I know that place. Most of kids go and play there. We're like, yes. That place we saw so and so, they were doing that. She told me, do not ever, if you ever do that, your mouth will get stuck. To be honest, guys, I grew up so stupid and naive that I thought that if someone kisses you, your mouth will get stuck. That's how stupid I was. Because I was told, you know, someone telling you, if you ever try that, your mouth will get stuck. Another thing in our home, they used to tell us, don't say something that you're not sure about. Do not gossip. If you gossip, you will die, or else your mouth will become wide, like it will become wide. So one day our neighbor died, and I went to the neighbor's kid and I told the neighbor's kid that, so you mean your father told a lie? That's why he's dead. So you mean your father told a lie? That's why he died. And then the kid was like, well, who told you that? So I told our neighbor's kid, yes? Okay. I told our neighbor's kid that my mom told us that if you lie, you die. So this kid was like, so you mean my dad lied? I was like, yes, he lied. But anyway, another thing, also not telling lies, it helped me. You know why? I hate telling lies, and I love telling people the truth. And telling people the truth, I realize that most of people want to be lied. People don't want to hear the truth. Unmuted. How are you? Hello. What was that? That your mama told you that don't do it. You'll only understand when you grow up. What was that? Yes? what was that your parents told you that you will never forget, and their words had shaped your life? And you will always be grateful and tell yourself, thank you for my parents for telling me those words. Let me know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like. Mugamba mutya abaana mmwe? Naawe yaddamu ekalirane. Tulabe ebiri mu nsawo baba aliisa biki? Baana mmwe. We get something new, knowing you. sit. Hello, how are you, my friend? I hope you're doing great. So, as I was saying, what was that thing that you told you? And now, if you look at yourself, you thank them. Some people are like, you lied, but me on my side, I didn't lie. It was, it was something that helped me growing up and also realizing things later on that I wish I knew. Because everything is not meant to be known. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that God did to Adam and Eve, but by them wanting to know, it's like being in the Garden of Eden and you're told not to eat the fruit. So we grew up being told not to eat the fruit, and yes, we never ate that fruit. They kept our mind blank, just there. We grew up, and then later on, we realized that, oh, we were told a lie. It was all a lie. You will come to think of it. Eating the fruit, it made you think that you shouldn't be knowing. Juice in the cup. That's me. And then, remember when our parents would tell you, do not eat to neighbor's house, do not do this, do not talk to strangers. If you find money on the road, do not pick it. There is actually something that it's in Africa. I don't know, maybe it's happening only in Uganda. But this thing that vibrates. Someone gets it and they cut it, and the parts that comes out of it, let me tell you, don't ever pick the money. That's why we are always being told, do not pick the money. Nowadays, who leaves the money behind? Back then, you wouldn't pick those money that you find on the road, because the moment you pick it, the vibrate will also catch you, and you have that fear for not being, infected. So if you find money on the road, you close your eyes like you did not see it. There's a time, let me tell you, I was broke, and then I saw money, but this money was not good. This money, they had showered on it. Like someone bought a new pencil and with some herbs and a hen. It was on the road. So the hen was tied aside and the new pencil was there and money was there. Imagine, even if it's you, who takes that money? Some Africans, yes, they still use witchcrafts and they believe in them, and some of them it has really helped them, that I cannot say that it's not helpful. For some people it's really helpful. Some people believe, and some people believe that it's their great, so they believe in it, they worship it. So whenever they want something, they use it. So when they usually say, this road that is across roads. So in Luganda, or in my language, they call it Masanga Angira. So that road, it's more especially dangerous. I love doing exercise in the morning, but when I'm in my hometown, I'm not allowed to do that. My mom does not allow us to go out so earlier because of that. People in that early morning, when you guys are still sleeping, other people are doing some witchcraft on the road. So we were told not to wake up so early because you may jump something that you shouldn't be. Yeah, so it's also helpful. So we should always be grateful to our parents that whatever they told us, it really helps us. So hey, my friend, how are you? I don't know whether it's morning or it's evening or it's afternoon in your hometown, but I hope you're doing great. Yeah, this is AMS, the gamers, the one that I'm talking to. I hope you're doing great, my dear friend. Same as here, I'm alright. Yes, yesterday I wasn't on, and last time, and last time, and last time. But now I'm here. You know, sometimes I'm on and on, on and on. When network is there, I'm here. When it's not here, I'm not here. So we just have to bond with it. We just have to follow the lead. Wait, take a notice serious because our parents, they didn't want us to get into trouble. Enjoy